Hello, hi. So I'm really sorry just now those who were in my live. I was trying to use my desktop. Previously I always use my phone. But this time I wanted to use my desktop because I have some PowerPoint slide to share with you. However, I do not know why there's some technical difficulty and I could not it's hang. So I really can't see who's online. I can't see your comments. I can't see anything. Basically, it's like it's already hanged. But I actually prepared a slide for you all. So it's okay. It's not a really robust slide. It's just some information that I want to share with you. I think we would be okay using this, the normal way that I used to do my live share. So first of all, thank you for coming. Hi Anushri, hi Bhagya. I'm so glad. Who else is here? Okay, right, I'm so glad that you guys are here. So before we actually start, I want to show you guys something that I did. Ha, tada. I don't know, I'm not sure is it only me, but I'm kind of obsessed with this dalgona coffee. Have no idea why. I think it's because of the creamy texture that's very interesting, and it makes up for the fact that I can't really simply go and buy Starbucks or Coffee Bean and save money also lah. So okay, hi Bhagya. Right, hi Aaron, thanks for coming. Okay, so without wasting more time, we'll go to today's topic, which is more on passion and purpose for job change. So basically, as I explained on my first live video, this would be very suitable for this video will be very suitable for the job seekers who already have this intention, like, what, within few months time I would like to change my job, change my career. And it also will be very useful for fresh graduates who, of course, they need to look for jobs. So it's like intentional job searching, not like I'll just go and apply whatever that I can, and whatever I get, okay lah, I'll just work. It's not like that. This is more on a strategizing your job search, so that it's very aligned to your passion, aligned to your goal, aligned to your interest. So that's why, if you remember, on my first video I was speaking a lot about identifying your interest, identifying your strength, identifying what kind of things you like in your working environment, what you dislike, what you hate. So you have to identify yourself first. You have to list down pros and cons based on your previous work experience, or by conversation. Maybe you have spoken about it with your friends, or who have actually done a particular job that you like. So you talk with them. When you talk to them, when you speak with them, you kind of know that okay, this is exactly how the job scope is. Because sometimes JD is job description, by the way. So JD wouldn't be 100% I wouldn't say accurate, but it wouldn't 100% depict what the real working environment is. First of all, it wouldn't show the working culture there. So the best way for you to know about a working culture, the teamwork, the management style, the leadership style, is by asking those who have been working in the particular company or position. So that's the best way. So where were I? Okay, so yes, so you have to understand what kind of working environment you would thrive in, and what kind of environment that you would not prefer to go. So by you knowing this particular set, the next step you need to do is understanding the purpose of why you want to jump to another job from your current job. And also, for fresh graduate, why do you want to choose this particular line of job scope, or industry or company. Okay, yeah, before we actually move to today's session, if you go to my website www.anuharan.com, I've uploaded the previous live video under the tab online training, online courses. So you can actually download my workbook. So it's just a one-page workbook where I've actually summarized last week's training. So you can actually write down your strength, your weakness, and whatever that we have discussed. So this week I'll also do the same thing. I'll prepare a workbook based on our discussion today. Alright, so the first and foremost, working, you talk about experience hire, or those who have few years experience, or those who have been working for like 5-6 years and suddenly they decided, you know, this work is not for me and I really want to have a career change. I really want to have a career change. I'm thinking of looking out. So there are many, of course, there are many factors that actually made you decide that. But before you totally jump to, you know, I want to resign and, you know, I want to look for another job, before you even decide that, okay, there are few things that you can do to make sure you do not have this grass is greener on the other side syndrome. This is a real thing. It happens because let's say you have been working in a position or a role or a company for few years, let's say 2 to 3 years, 2 years lah, I would say 2 years. You would eventually get bored because that you would know in and outs of a of a particular job. You would know everything about the company. You don't feel challenge. You don't feel there's some new things that you want to learn. You don't feel pushed to do something extra because you have been doing the same thing for the past 2 years. However, this is a very dangerous thing to think this as a reason for you to jump a job, right? I'm very bored of what I'm doing right now, so I want to jump job. This is very dangerous unless you really strategize your move. Hi Subhashni. Okay, why I said so is that you might end up going to a job that you dislike, right? When you have grass is greener on the other side syndrome, you would actually like, oh, okay, I see this particular job post, I really like it, and you resign and you go to a new career or new job or new company, and you realize after a few months, oh, this is the same thing all over again. I'm doing the same thing, same management style, everything is same, and I'm bored again. So, and this is why this is what is happening with the current generation, because they don't plan properly, because they don't see what actually they want. They do not have the end goal. They didn't look at career as something like you know, I need to be in this position after 5 years. They don't have that particular end goal, and that's why they always have this symptom of jumping job. Like, oh, I'm very bored, I do not know what to do. After 1 year I jump job, after 1 year I jump job, I don't like my boss, I jump job. Every year or every few months you jump job, and this happens in our current millennials. So initially I thought it's because they get bored very quickly. So they get bored very quickly. Say hello.
Hello.
I thought they get bored very quickly, but then I just realized it's because they do not have a goal, an end goal in their mind. This is really different compared to our father and our mother, the generation of our fathers and mothers. You know why? Because they are practically will be in one company until the end of their career. At the most, they will jump just 2 or 3 jobs. So the company will actually prepare the employees for their career. We as an employee at that time, let's say I'm in this particular company, let's say ABC company, the company will prepare career development for me. I do not need to do anything. I do not need to determine what kind of training I need to do. I do not need to upskill myself, because the company is preparing myself. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, just say hello, because I think my headset already off. Hello. Okay, so I assume that you guys can hear me. If you can't hear me, please let me know. Okay, yeah, I don't know why my headset started off, but I'll just continue. So as I was saying, in olden times, our father and mother generations, they do not need to be 100% responsible for their career, because the company will do that for them. However, this current generation, Mommy is talking. This current generation, we have to prepare ourselves and have our own career goal and career development, because the companies no longer trust that we will be in a company for another 10 years, because we are very robust. We like to experience more, and with the current situation, the company do not want to invest, do not want it's not a they do not prefer to invest for a long-term career goal of the employee. Short-term is still fine. Skilling up upskilling the employees for a short term, it's totally fine, but they don't do long-term career planning for us. That's why we need to do it ourselves. So back to the story. To stop the grass is greener on the other side syndrome, there are few things that we need to do before we intend to jump the job. Number one is to clearly know. Ask yourself very objectively, and don't try to be very rational and not emotional. Ask yourself why exactly you have this intention of jumping job. Is it because you're bored? Is it because you do not like your current boss? Is it because of the money? You like to have more money in your new career? What is the exact reason? Okay, let me tell you, if you're bored, there are few ways that you can decrease or eliminate the boredom in your current job role itself. It's whether you want to do it or you do not want to do it. Take up your own challenge. In your current role. Like, go to your boss and say that you want to have a different role in the same company. You can do that. People, I do not know why we don't do that. We don't go and ask for more job from our managers, but it's a really good way to increase the portfolio of our skill. That's how I got into project management. You guys know that I was always in HR, right? I studied for HR. I was working as HR in Baker Hughes, in Shell, but I got into project management line this way. What happened was that, of course, 8 years being in HR, I've been doing the same thing over and over again, and I got really bored. But before I really decide to leave, I asked myself, maybe I'm just bored with my work. Maybe I wanted to do something else. So I went and asked my boss, that I know there's this upcoming project coming in Shell. Why don't I get a hand on it? Why don't I get involved in the project planning and development? So it's a challenge for me because it's something that's totally new. So it's scary. Yes, it's very scary because totally out of whatever they've been doing before this. But it's very challenging. It's very interesting because you will learn. You need to train yourself, and you need to learn a lot of new things. So that's another way you can do it. You can ask for a different job role or scope. Hi, Segaran. So that's one way of doing it. And number two, a lot of you would like to jump job because of money, which is amazing lah. Every time you jump job, you can get like few hundred ringgit extra, maybe 400 to 500 ringgit extra. Sometimes even up to 1,000. But ask yourself, is it even worth it? Okay, of course, money is always worth it. What I'm trying to say, that is the short-term jump worth it with the money that you are demanding? Okay, that's one thing you need to ask yourself. So imagine your resume shows that every 1 year you are jumping job. It's very clear for us employers that you are jumping because of money. So that's it's a drawback, even though how much you tell us, tell the recruiters or HR professional, I would like a new challenge. We would know that you actually are jumping job for money.
Jumping jacks?
Not jumping jacks, jumping jobs. Jumping jobs for money. So it doesn't look very good in your resume as well. 2 to 3 years and then you jump job, it's still fine, but not like 6 months or 1 year. I know some of you do it for a really valid reason, but it's not encouraged unless you have a really good reason to do it. Okay, number 2 is money. Money is not a good idea to jump job. If you ask yourself objectively, don't say all these flowery words. Sit in front of the mirror and ask yourself, if 100% money is the reason, you need to think of another reason. And if you can't find any, I really think that you need to do something about it. because money is not the not number one reason why you need to be happy in a career. Okay, right, that's another thing. For me, the really good reason for you to jump job is actually find a new challenge in your career. Find new challenge, find new role, find new how to say, find new knowledge and skill that you can apply. So that way you can develop yourself. That is a very valid reason. So before, let's say you sit down and you tell me, you know what, I know I really do not like what I'm doing right now. I want to change to a totally different industry or role or career, and I'm going to really pivot to another role. Let's say you're very clear that's what you want to do, let's say. Okay, there are few things that you can do before you take the big step of handing the resignation letter to your current boss. There are few things that you need to do. Like I said, number one, check whether in your current company you can do an internal transfer. You can do an internal transfer. Not, is there any viable option for you to do an internal transfer? Ask your manager, ask your manager from another department, is there any way you can do an internal role transfer? Okay, some company like MNC, they have a very good system for internal transfer. In fact, you can even transfer to another totally different role altogether, or department together, or location, or or not industry, a different location. So there are some companies really encourage the employees to do that. Let's say you cannot, I know I really cannot, my company is not an MNC, it's actually a small company, small medium company. I can't really do a lot of internal change. Another option, the second option that you can do is see whether you can do any part-time job, maybe during weekends, that you can integrate a different skill set. Okay, this is especially true when you decided you want to pivot to another role. Okay, let's say myself, I'm first from HR, and I decided, you know what, I want to go into marketing, I want to go into sales and marketing. It's a totally different role, right? I would, first and foremost, I would not leave my full-time job yet, but I will do a part-time job in sales and marketing, maybe on Saturday, Sunday, maybe as a freelance basis, maybe maybe as a temporary basis. You actually do not take such a big risk by resigning first, but integrating maybe into a part-time job or temporary job, weekend, or freelancing, you can do that. There are few benefits of doing this. Number one, you can increase your skill set. Number two, you can actually find out whether that is really what you want or not. Okay, imagine I leave my job already lah. I totally left my job, full-time job that I was.
Take for me that pen.
Sorry lah, my daughter today she's very active. So before I totally resign and go into sales and marketing, another full-time job, I can integrate or I can try it out lah, try and test it first to see whether I really like it or not. So imagine lah, after a few months of doing freelancing or a part-time job, I decided, oh, sales and marketing is not that interesting at all. I don't prefer sales and marketing already. So you still have a bolster to actually fall back upon. You are not stuck being in sales and marketing job and another job that you hate. So you have a bolster right there. So that's another advice that I would like to tell everyone. Before you decided to leave your stable full-time job, try and test first in case you want to do a totally different career change, you want to pivot, or you want to jump to a totally new industry. You can do this test run first. Let's say you said, but it's so difficult to get full-time job, I really cannot get any full-time I cannot get any part-time job, and there's no company hiring for part-time for the role that I really want to apply. It's okay, there are few other options, but they wouldn't pay you as much, but it's really a good training ground for you to try and test first. Internship, actually as an experienced hire, you can still apply for internship, but of course not via the normal way lah, not through that the normal, how to say, the normal internship drop down, but you have to take some extra step by calling the HR professional, the recruiter. You can call them and express your interest. You know what, I was working in HR for the past 3 to 4 years, but I have an interest in doing sales and marketing. Can I actually apply for your for internship in your job? But I can only do it as a part-time basis. You can do that, and sometimes the company really appreciate you taking the first initiative. Another good way of doing it is volunteerism. So some of the volunteer organization in Malaysia, they work as business organization as well. Yes, they have a voluntary value, but they are developed and built the same way as a normal company. So they also will have sales and marketing. They also will have HR department, account department. So you can apply to this kind of organization which would need the particular skill set. Of course, when you are a volunteer, you wouldn't get paid, but the advantage is that you would get the experience, and also you would get the skill set that you need. And another good part is that, let's say you really love the new role that you are doing, you can put that in your resume, and that really strengthens. In fact, if you, let's say you do that particular voluntary work for 6 months, let's say, you can put that as your skill set. So that's another really important, another really good reason why you can consider all this before you totally divert or leave your current job to a totally new position. So I hope whatever that I say is making sense. You guys can comment if you understand. I know sometimes I can be very fast. I'll try to upload the slide that I did in my in Facebook group or my website, and I'll let you all know. So basically that is the few things that I want to advise today. Before you decide to jump job to a totally new career, new industry, new role, there are few testing grounds that you can do first, whether part-time, whether internship, whether volunteerism, okay, before you do a total career change. And for fresh grad, this is another new avenue for you to tap on as well. You can actually do few voluntary work yourself before deciding what actually makes you really happy, what is the role that makes you really interested on, and you can build network along the way. Okay, I guess that's all for today. It's very short. I hope it's very informative for you guys. Yeah, okay, bye. If anything, please do not hesitate to comment. I will exit this live now. Bye.